Carnegie. Reverend Rachel, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Rachel Carnegie from the Anglican Alliance based in the UK. Normally Elizabeth, my colleague, joins these calls. She's actually on sick leave. So sadly, I can't stay, but I just wanted to pop in to say hi to everybody and that I'm really looking forward to hearing the outcomes of your discussion. So I wish I could stay, but I have to go to another meeting. But just lovely to see you all. So thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, I think with Jeffrey. Jeffrey, would you like to greet?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm joining in from the office my deck also. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to turn my video on because it hasn't got a webcam. But then I'm joining in from Ghana, Kumasi, and it's a great pleasure to be with everybody and then to see how proceedings would go. Thank you all.
That's wonderful. Welcome, Jeffrey. We're very excited to have you all the way from Ghana. Thank you. I think other people are struggling with their audio. So what we're going to do is we're going to start and then we will give a chance for others to introduce themselves at the end who didn't. We just go straight to the prayer.
Yes. Christ, we come into your presence today to worship in this sanctuary called Earth. A planet filled with your presence, quivering in the forests, vibrating in the land, pulsating in the wilderness, shimmering in the waters of the earth. Giver of life, in the midst of a plundered earth, we groan with creation. Have mercy on us. Giver of life, in the midst of polluted air, we groan with creation. Have mercy on us. Giver of life, in the midst of mountains of waste, we groan with creation. Have mercy on us. This we pray, trusting and believing in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So I would like to invite Nicholas Pandey to bring our keynote address. And Nicholas, as he mentioned, he works for CAPA. He's the team leader for environmental stewardship and for food security. And he also works for Anglican Alliance. So he's going to share. Could everybody please put their mics on mute? You're getting some background music noise. So Nicholas is going to share what is CAPA's role in terms of the environment and what is the Anglican Environment Network of Africa? Why do we want to get together people from different provinces, and what is the vision and what is the reason for us being here and starting this movement? So over to you, Nicholas. And Nicholas might leave us in the middle of his talk because he's about to have a baby. So we're very excited to have you with us. Thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you very much, Canon Rachel. Yeah, very interesting there. That I could leave anytime. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this evening. I would just like to share with us a few things about our engagements with the environmental stewardship, because this is one of the strategic themes of CAPA as a council, which brings together the 14 provinces of the Anglican Communion in Africa. The province of Alexandria was just inaugurated the other day, and so we are now officially 14 provinces. And the network brings together the church in the 14 provinces, around 31 African countries. So who are we? And we are a network of Anglican provinces across Africa, striving to safeguard the integrity of creation and sustain, as well as renew life on earth. That statement we must be quite familiar with because it's the fifth mark of mission for the Anglican Communion. And so it is from that mark of mission that we also draw our identity, that as provinces we are coming together to safeguard the integrity of creation. What we are doing is that we are using our biblical mandate as custodians of earth One, to initiate, to advocate, and to execute environmentally friendly activities towards the preservation and conservation of nature. We are approaching environmental issues, environmental stewardship, not just as people who are concerned, but also as people of faith, drawing a biblical mandate from scriptures to steward the environment. And our scope, as I've just mentioned, is across the countries where the Anglican Church has presence, and that the network coordinates. This network is meant to just tie together what is happening in every corner of the continent. Actions that are being taken by individual churches in the dioceses, in the parishes, in the provinces. So the network coordinates and profiles all environmental stewardship activities conducted by the member provinces and affiliate organizations. Because again, within the communion, we've got affiliate organizations and movements and campaigns, just as we've had Green Anglicans and other initiatives that have happened within the communion. And all this is contributing to globally agreed goals, sustainable development. The three goals that these activities contribute to mostly are Goal 7, which talks of ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Because one of the focus areas, as you will see, is the area of energy. Goal 13, which talks of taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. As you're all familiar with this, that climate change is our current emergency. And so in line with this goal, these activities then respond. Goal 15, which is to protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification. As a church which is working in the confines of the church, we are also doing this in line with the ACC 17 resolutions, which recognized that there is a global climate emergency, encourages member churches to make the fifth mark of mission a living testament to our faith. And that the fifth mark of mission, from where we draw the identity of the network, is not just a statement, but that it will be a living testament to our faith.
Utupelio chakula chetu tumechohitaji utusamehe makosa yetu kumana setu na hawasamehe wale yotukasea yusutuyo katika majaribu lakini utokoe na yule muoe milala.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Asante sana. That was really interesting and quite inspiring to see all that CAPA is doing. There's a proverb that says, if I go alone, I can go fast, but if I go together, I can go far. So now we're going to give our different provinces just 3 to 5 minutes, so 5 minutes, no more than that, just to talk about what are we doing in our provinces. So we're going to start with Southern Africa. Southern Africa is 6 countries. It's South Africa, Swaziland, Namibia, Angola, Mozambique, and Lesotho. And Bino Magalanyane is going to share. He is the youth coordinator for the Green Anglican. And he's going to share what is happening in Southern Africa.
Thank you, Reverend Rachel, and good afternoon again to everyone. Like I said before, I'm Bino Magalanyane from the Anglican Church of Southern Africa Environmental Network. We're also known as the Green Anglicans in Southern Africa. We're not an organization, but we're more of a movement this side. And mine is to work with young people. We share the same vision as that of the Anglican Communion. I would be speaking to the presentation more than anything, and mine would be more lighter than being technical, because we always say sometimes we get too technical and people run away. Our mission is to resource and inspire Anglicans in spirituality of caring for creation. We are a faith-based organization. Ours is to touch the heart, and in touching the heart, we believe that individuals can then inspire each other to do something. We go around equipping dioceses and churches in them taking this thing seriously, and we also provide a network where we say, let's network people, churches, and people do their own things at their own context. That's why we say we're a movement more than an organization. Irene? Our key values, we've got 3 key values. One of them, which is spirituality. Like I said, we speak to the heart, and because we're a faith-based organization, we want people to understand the biblical principles of where we're coming from. Youth empowerment is number 2. The youth is not the church of tomorrow, it's the church of now and today. And therefore, we feel that it is our duty and responsibility to empower young people so that they too can have a big, significant role to play in this movement. And lastly, we say it's that of hope, where we say we recognize the seriousness of climate change, and we say we need to play our role in healing the land and healing Africa as a whole. Host. Like I said, I'll be speaking of youth, which is my role. In a normal context, on a normal South African or Southern African calendar, outside of lockdown, what we have been currently pushing is what we call the resource workshops, where we've got 2 wonderful manuals. One is for teenagers, one is for your children ministries. And the focus is that we always say, let's empower influencers or those that are working with children instead of going straight to children. So we would empower your youth leaders, your confirmation leaders, your Sunday school teachers. Hence, you would see there on one of the pictures that we've got a slightly old team, but they are the ones that have classes. So we are saying if we can teach that one Sunday school teacher who teaches about 20 kids, at least we've reached out to so many kids in one go, unlike us saying, let's go directly to the kids. So the manuals are available on our website at www.greenanglicans.org.za. You can download them. They are for the use of teachers mainly, not the kids. So it's like a user guide. Madam Host. You need to understand that we're working with young people, and like I said, our language, we use simple language that is understood by everyone. Hence I said, we do valuable things, but fun at the same time. We do cleanups. We ensure that when doing cleanups, we bring people together. There is always a social connection. People dance, we play games. One of the pictures, they were in Lesotho after we cleaned the city of Maseru. After cleaning the city, they took us on a tour. The municipality was so happy that they offered us a ride to go see the mountain there. We do hikes, we do tree planting. After certain cleanups, people would play sport. But one thing that you would know that I wanted people to note is that you would be surprised that some of our people have not actually seen how beautiful nature is. So by adding hope or taking these people out, our young people out into spaces of recreation, where be a hike, be it a beach cleanup, they then say, wow, I now can see why you're doing this. And they then join the movement and become powerful resources in the movement. Madam Host. Like I said, that was before lockdown. In South Africa, we're currently, I think it's day 120, if not more, of the lockdown. So restrictions are very tight. We are not allowed to travel as we used to. So now we have moved to online ministry, which is where we do our ministry. Since we started, we've been doing memes daily or weekly, where we say to people, let's do some things that are environmentally friendly, in which you can do at home at a safe, like doing compost, tappy taps, which would save you water, and other many. Madam Host, like we say, people should making your own face mask. We love this cloth face masks because we know that you can always wash them, that are usable, they're friendly. You can take your old piece of cloth that you have not been using for a while. So we are encouraging people to do that. We're also encouraging people to do kiddies games from recycled material, and many, many more items that we do on our challenges, where we say, people, let's do something while we're at home, because we understand that there's so much anxiety and people are stressed up. Madam Host. When it comes to the spiritual aspect of it, we've looked at doing some things, and we said, what can we do? We said we've got a Sunday school material, and that is called Rhino. So people, it's on our YouTube channel, Green Anglican's YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. You'll find session 1 to 11 of Rhino, which you can play for your kids at home. It's available for your use. We also have weekly online services, Eucharistic services, which go out every week also. And within those online services, we also celebrate other main environmental days, which we would do together as CAPA, and invite 1 or 2 people from around CAPA to say, can you do a reading? Can you do this? Can you do that? So it's a platform which we use so that we can get to the people out there, and people see that we are still here and touching their hearts, so that hopefully beyond the lockdown, people can say, I really could connect with Green Anglicans. Madam Host. We've got some upcoming events. Currently, there is an event that we will be hosting as Green Anglican Southern Africa on the 31st of July at 6 p.m. South African time. I think East African time will be 5 p.m. We'll be saying the impact of lockdown on ecological system. We want to know what were the benefits of lockdown. It has been said that creatures that have not been seen in a very long time are now seeming to come out. So we want to have that talk, and we will be more than happy to host all of you if you could join. The link is there, and we'll always share. And then there is a topic that we currently run, which is environmental racism, which we picked up from Black Lives Matter, where we touch into the issues of how people of color are being environmentally discriminated in terms of racism. So it's a topic that we are talking about and engaging on, and The video clip is also on our YouTube channel. You can look at it. It's South African context, but it's something that is very powerful, coming out from the message, of course, of the Anglican Communion, which about 60 bishops have signed. Madam Host, people always ask, how do you make this possible? Of course, we in office. There is currently 3 people, myself, Reverend Mesh, and JP, who's working full time. But we are not alone as masterminds. We've got a team of movers and shakers. This team is made out of people within Southern Africa, our province, and beyond, of course, where we use them as think tanks. This is our think tank, youth leaders or those who have influence, who we say, what are the issues? What can we do? What do you think we can touch? And then the provincial office, like I said, which is myself, Red Mesh, and JP, would then put this into action and follow up where possible. And then there's great support coming from our province through, of course, the provincial board, which is chaired by Bishop Elena, who's from the Diocese of Swaziland. I must say, there are many challenges. It's not as easy, but as a movement, you must know that we do this together. We'll fall, but we keep saying we together and we'll achieve more as a unit. That's it. Let me pause there and say thank you very much, team members. Asante.
Mission statement: the Anglican Church of Burundi exists to proclaim and share the gospel, empower to the community, and advocate for justice in order to contribute the holistic and sustainable development of all creation. That is our mission. And we have also the vision, a world transformed by the gospel where people enjoy holistic development. In environment, we have 4 major challenges or issues: soil erosion, degradation, and deforestation. Biodiversity loss, unhealthy environment and sanitary condition in community, and climate change. As an Anglican, we have taken the action since 2013. The Anglican Church of Burundi, in conjunction with the diocesan staff, all people, all Christians, community members, and local government officials, have planted nearly 5 million trees on government-owned public land, church-owned land, private land, and school land. We have some pictures here: conservation and land management, some community nurseries, and some trenches, fruit trees, and reforestation. The result here, you see it, not yet. The result, and then to conclude, the vision of future with East Patena Episcopal Relief Development is looking at carbon offsetting models used by regional bodies such as DCONG here and other as way to increase the environmental and socio-economic impact of reforestation for community. And also, as an Anglican Church of Burundi is in touch with Burundian government, agents and local ONGs with experience in grassroots carbon offset and credit as well. The program will most likely partner with one of those or another research institution. I think my presentation is done. Thank you.
Wow. Well done, Burundi. That's amazing. So you have planted more than 4 million trees. I think let's all use the button for clapping. There's a reaction button. Let's say clap, clap for Burundi. That is amazing. Very inspiring. So next we're going to go to Kenya. We're going to invite Reverend Dennis. He has really been at the front of the movement and getting Green Anglicans moving in Kenya. And he's placed at the All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi as the youth pastor. So over to you, Reverend Dennis. We're very much looking forward to hearing what you're going to share.
Thank you very much, Canon. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Dennis, and I am very excited to be here today. It's good to be here, and I will be talking on behalf of the Green Anglicans movement here in Kenya, whose mission is preserving God's creation for future generation. Host. The Anglican Church of Kenya, under the leadership of the Archbishop, host, you seem to be moving fast. Yes, thank you. Under the leadership of the Archbishop, Dr. Jackson Olesapit, have made ecology, or rather wholesome ecology, as one of the pillars in the decade strategy. When the Archbishop came in 2018, in his speech, and when he was launching the decade theme, he decided that the last theme that will kind of exit him out, that is in the year 2027, will be wholesome ecology. Wholesome ecology to us refers to having a conducive and sustainable interrelationship between both human beings and our environment. It might be the last of the pillars, but it is most definitely not the least, because even before it starts, we are all up in arms trying to do what we can to salvage the situation as it is. Host, how did we begin? The Green Anglicans started back then in the year 2018 when CAPA invited KAYO, that is the Kenya Anglican Youth Organization, to the first youth conference. At that particular time, the KAYO had been invited, but Anglican Students Fellowship, because it was growing, the mission director in the province decided to also invite them to be part of the great multitude that were meeting in Nairobi for the sake of hearing and getting the experiences of other countries out there. So we sat down with many young people wanting to know more of what they were doing for their Anglican students in their respective provinces. But something, as you were talking, something kept on cropping up, especially from the Anglican Federation in Southern Africa, and that was the Green Anglicans. Next, host. Yes, it seems I'm missing something, but it's okay. So if you can just go back. The individuals you are seeing before you, that is the Green Anglicans team from South Africa, the previous one hosts. We consider these individuals to be the missioners of the Green Anglican movement here in Africa. We took their gospel very seriously as young people in the Anglican Students Fellowship, and because we were just starting as a movement, we did not have much activities to engage our young ones with. What we used to do in the universities was majorly Bible studies and gathering for other activities. but we felt we needed something that would touch the hearts of the young people. And when we introduced the Green Anglicans movement, we saw excitement and we saw the spark in their eye, and we decided to ride on it. So we are very grateful for the message that was brought through the Southern African team, who were very clear and very precise on the message that they were bringing on board on the Green Anglican movement. Next. The next one. Thank you. So once it started, we got ourselves, no, before that, the previous one, host, thank you. So once we, the next one. Yes, there, thank you. Once we had introduced the whole concept to the young people who we were dealing with, we realized that this thing was bigger than we were. And we decided to see what we can do in terms of mainstreaming it and helping people really take it up and run with it in their respective parishes and schools. So we decided to pay a visit to the mission director, and the mission director told us that the environmental issues were not new to the Anglican movement in Kenya, but the person who, or rather the institution that was responsible over it, was the Anglican Development Services. So immediately we got into partnership with the mission director together with the Anglican Development Services, which is the environmental wing of the church. And we came up with this committee that is seated in front of you, made up of the ADS, that's the Anglican Development Services, the mission of the education and mission department, together with the Anglican Student Fellowship. And with this particular team, we came up with a strategy for about 5 years, which we have proposed, and we have gotten good feedback from the House of Bishops, and we are continuing to implement what it has on paper. So what this team did, next host, what this team did, it came up with a number of key focus areas, which I'm going to discuss, and key among them was tree growing. This was the first activity that we engaged in because it was the first thing that the young people found easier to do. They had the fields in the churches, they had the fields in their schools, and also in their homes. So all we needed to do is create an environment and also look for incentive for them to do tree planting. After I think a year, we realized that tree planting was not what we were looking forward to, but tree growing was what was the ideal. So through the forest wardens, they taught us on how to adopt new trees. We would plant them and take care of them personally, each and every tree, for at least 3 years before it would continue growing naturally. So that was the first key focus area, tree growing. Second, the next one was green energy. We have not gotten totally deep into green energy, but what we're doing right now is through sensitization training and many conferences where we get to have our Christians, we get to sit down and give them options of alternative means of power. And we have gotten to see people change from electricity to solar panels. We have seen people looking for other means from even outside our country so that they can go more green. And I believe the church will pioneer most of the change that we are looking forward to in our country. Next. So the theological reflection on ecology, the Anglican Church of Kenya acknowledged that the whole creation is God's creation and that God is at the center of the entire creation. We also acknowledge the fact that sin led to the fall of humanity, and ever since the world has experienced decay and degradation, and mostly because of what human beings have done to it. But thanks be to God, Christ came to redeem, to restore, and to reconcile the whole world back to himself. So the church, we realize it has been called to fulfill the mission of Christ. Hence, it must do all that it can to reclaim the lost glory of humanity and the earth, among many other theological concepts that we also get to discuss when we come together, as it is seen in the picture right there. That's one of our bishops who was the second to launch the Green Anglicans movement in our country. Next. We've discussed that one. We can move on to the fourth one. That is the dam site, as you can see, where we did the cleanup, and those are the windows behind the young people who are doing the cleanup. Those are the windows that were shut before and open after our activity. Next. Discuss that one, the next one. Thank you. And here we have the lessons that we have learned as a church concerning the Green Anglicans movement in our country, what good it is and what potential it holds in ministry in the Anglican Church of Kenya. One of the lessons that we picked, fortunately, I'm a minister to the young people. So the first people who I get to involve in environmental matters are the young people. And one of the things that came out very clearly is that they want to know whether we do care about the environment, but they don't really care of what we know as their guides, their parents, their churches. What they want to know is whether we care enough to take care of their future. They know that they are the ones who stand to lose the greatest if the world continues the way it is continuing, the degradation of the earth in itself, and they are very much concerned about their environment. So in that, we were very much encouraged to bring them on board, and with little, if no effort from us, all we needed to do is just show them where the work is, and they will come in plenty. And that's one of the lessons that we get from that. Apart from that, we also get to know that the young people being 70% of the population in Kenya, and job opportunities are not so many, we also got to learn the fact that they are, let's say, idle. They are more than willing to engage in things that would get to contribute towards the development of the places where they live in. So whenever we'll go to do cleanups and they will see us as a church, young people will just join us, pick up slashers, pick up rakes, and just do whatever they can for the sake of beautifying their environment. Next. From our little efforts, we also realized that as a church, we are really being appreciated by the many partners. We got to understand that our government was more than willing to have us, and also have the voice of the church behind their efforts of conserving the environment. As you can see, there is my picture with Canon Rachel together with a lady from the UN who we got to pose for a picture. And after that, we've been getting, as a church, we've been getting so many of attention from the outside organizations for the sake of seeing how we can bring along as many people as possible in the fight towards bettering the environment. Next. Thank you. And lastly, as much as we are in a lockdown, but not a full-time lockdown, we get to go out once in a while. And the picture that is in front of you is a number of my parishioners, some of them were not in the picture, who had come together for the sake of weeding a small part that we have adapted in a forest near our church. And one thing I came to appreciate about the Green Anglicans movement as a priest is that you have an opportunity of doing ministry outside the offices without your collar, with your gumboots, with your djembe, and the pangas that we are holding in our hands. I got to lead a young man back to church. I got to spend time with my parishioners and did a lot of counseling that brought a lot of good and a lot of healing to the hearts of the Christians who we were with. So we are also looking at Green Anglicans as another opportunity for us as a church to engage with the hearts of Christians and see to it that their hearts heal. And if we heal the hearts of our Christians, we know that the heart of the nation will also be healed. And that will bring to reality the message in Revelation 22, chapter 22, verses 2. That brings me to the end of my presentation. May God bless you. Thank you.
Reverend Dennis, thank you so very much. That was wonderful. Let's put our hands together as we can clap using our button. Very inspiring. And I love where you said, young people don't care about what we know. They want to know whether we care. I think sometimes we get stopped because we think we don't have enough environmental academic knowledge to do stuff. But if we can say to young people that we care about them and we care about the environment, then we can make huge changes. So thank you so much. That was very inspiring. We're going to move over to Central Africa now. Central Africa is a province which is made up of 4 countries: Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, and Burundi and Botswana. Malawi, Botswana. So we're going to invite Charles Bakolo to join us. He is from Malawi, and he's one of those very inspiring people who make things happen wherever they are. So we'd like to invite Charles to present now. I did.
Thank you so much. I'm here. So basically, my presentation is on what we are doing as Anglican Church, Anglican Province in Central Africa. So I started with this beautiful quote from Pope Francis, who said, "You are taught to care for creation, not only as responsible citizens, but also as followers of Christ." So we, being followers of Christ, we have a responsibility of taking care of the environment. Yeah, you can go ahead. All right, so what we've been doing with the current pandemic is that we are doing a social media campaign whereby we are forcing our governments to ban the use of single-use plastics. So this is done by the youth within the church who are taking photos while holding different placards and posting them in different social media platforms. And we have received positive feedback from both the government and the private sector, whereby these people, they're saying they will look into the matter. And we are hoping to have our voice being held by the government. And we did not just stop there. While we're thinking that we are in a pandemic as a church, we thought it wise that we can also do something. We can spread the message on how people can prevent the spread of this virus. So we have different placards whereby even the priest, you can see Canon Christopher Mawa, who is holding a placard saying, you know, we can prevent COVID-19, so we should wash our hands frequently. So we are posting these pictures so that people can see. And there are also Mothers Union members who are holding placards carrying the same message. Yeah, so this is one of the banner, which is just to sensitize people that we have COVID-19, yes, but what we want is to achieve something. We want that the government should ban the single-use plastics. So as we are having messages related to COVID-19, we are also pushing for the banning of single-use plastics. So these messages are spread in our networks, and we are hoping that this will be done as we require. Yeah, we have calculated that I think using borrowed water in our lodges and in our hotels is expensive. So we are also running a social media campaign whereby we want these hotels and lodges to stop using borrowed water. We want them to use water dispensers. So we are just holding placards and we are spreading them in our networks so that when these lodges see these, I think they can adopt what we're saying to them. And it's good to note that we have so far seen 3 or 4 lodges adopting what we are spreading, and they are no longer using borrowed water. So it's a plus to us. I think our voice is being heard. Yeah. And we have also been involved in cleanup exercises in rural health facilities. We have seen that I think we, as the youth of the church, we can do something within our hospitals, despite the fact that we are in a situation, in a pandemic, but we can still organize something and go to our hospitals with the protectives and at least clean up our hospitals so that they look good. So you can see that the youth are removing the plastics in health centers. And to our left, that's the newspaper where they wrote about the Green Anglicans in a cleanup exercise. Yeah. Okay. You can go ahead. Yeah. So that's part of the work that we are doing as the Green Anglicans in Central Africa. And we are also making tree nurseries in preparation for the tree growing season. We thought it was that I think it would be good for us to have our nurseries so that when a tree planting season comes, we can just take our trees and maybe give the guilds within the church so that they can plant in their various parishes. I think that would be good for us to save money of buying the trees because they are expensive, but growing them, I think it's very easy, and that's what we are doing. Yeah, so from January to March this year, we have been involved in a number of tree planting exercises, and I think Reverend Lecho Marsh can testify to this. We had a number of tree planting exercises within rural parishes and urban parishes, whereby with the traditions within the church, the baptism and the confirmations, we are using that to promote the culture of tree planting within our province. Yeah, as I've said, we have different campaigns, the One Tree, One Baptism campaign, One Tree, One Birthday celebration. This is just to make sure that people are planting trees in their various locations. Yeah, so you can see a couple planting a tree. That is a fruit tree in our One Tree, One Holy Matrimony campaign. So yeah, this is one of the campaign that we are promoting. And another couple planting a tree there, yeah. Can go ahead. Yeah, so we also conducting various environmental strikes within our parishes, our dioceses. What we want is to make sure that at least the government should adopt some of the issues that we are raising. What we want is that maybe the government can assign or allocate a day within a year whereby everyone can plant a tree. For example, in Malawi, we are 18 million people. If everyone plants a tree, it means we'll have 18 million trees. To us, I think it will be a plus and will replenish the lost trees that we have cut over the past years. And we are making headlines, and you can see Anglican mothers held on forestry initiative and the Anglican Youth Champions of Environmental Sanity. So these are the issues that we are dealing with as Green Anglicans in Central Africa, and want to make sure that other people adopt what we're doing, because we feel like if we are in a network, I think things happen. So we want to partner with different people so that we can fight the issue of environmental protection together. Yeah. So upcoming events, we want to conduct debates, but this time we want to use the radio and TV platforms, because we know we are in a situation which we cannot meet as people together. And we want also to reach rural parishes, whereby at least want to train them on some of the initiatives that the Green Anglicans are doing. And we want to write a letter to City Council to make sure that we have proper waste management within our cities and our rural areas, because we have seen that we don't have proper waste management. And this is the duty of us as individuals and the government, so that we can at least make our environment clean. And we're also planning for environmental strikes, but we'll wait until we have at least the pandemic is over, so that at least we do something together as parishes, yeah, as dioceses, so that our voices can be heard. Yeah. So who makes this possible? We have environmental networks. Yeah, like in Malawi, we have the Malawi Creation Care Network, which we have partnered with the Green Anglicans in it. And even in Zimbabwe, we have the Green Church Movement, whereby the church is coming together to fight environmental injustices. And we are also having church guilds in the dioceses who are part of this fight, and the Anglican students in various colleges and secondary schools who are part of the movement. And we also have environmental coordinators at all dioceses, which gives us an impression that our work is very easy to do, because we are in a network. And what we're doing in Malawi is what the Zambians are doing, and is what the Zimbabweans and even those in Botswana are doing. So we are like in a network. So thank you so much for listening to this small presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. Let's put our hands together. We can use the button to give our claps. I think what Malawi is doing and Central Africa is amazing. And I must say that Charles is a great networker. He's also the chairperson of the Malawi Creation Care Network. So they're working together with other churches. And I think that's a really good model for us to understand. And what I like about Malawi as well is they're not only dealing with the problem, the picking up of litter and the deforestation, they're dealing with the cause. So not only do you pick up plastic, but you also try and ban single-use plastic. Not only do you plant a tree, but you also start a nursery so that you can have many, many trees. So thank you so much, Charles, for always inspiring us. Okay, let's move on to Michelle then, please, if you can share what's happening in West Africa.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michelle Nyaniba Akins. I am in Ghana and also representing the province of West Africa. I would like to, first of all, applaud all my presenters. In fact, you guys have become an eye-opener for all of us. And thank you very much. And I would like to put across that the West African province is a baby. Let's say it's a newborn baby, of which we are yet to implement any environmental initiatives in order to address issues concerning the environment. And with me, I'm not the only one presenting. I also have a team. I have Francisca Ajakumbuating, Mrs. Francisca Ajakumbuating, who is also one of our initiative members, and Dr. Jeffrey Ayi. He is also a member of the Anglican Church, and Miss Ivy Prempe. Miss Ivy Prempe is also from West Africa, also part of the province of West Africa. So I would like to say that we are rather a newborn baby born by CAPA. So as I initially said, we are yet to implement any initiative concerning the environment. On the other hand, we have recognized some challenges of which, especially Ghana, we are facing. And then what we want to do is that we would like to start with Ghana, and then we move on to the other countries like Cameroon, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Cape Verde. I think all those countries are within the province of West Africa. So we would want to start with Ghana, and then we move on to the other countries, especially the English-speaking ones. Then we will be able to transfer what we have done to the Francophone countries. So in Ghana, what we have realized in Ghana is that there has been a drastic change in our rainfall patterns, and which affects our agriculture as a country as a whole. Also, due to sanitation issues, we experience a lot of flooding within our environment. So what we want to do for now is to first of all create the group, and then we will start creating awareness on sanitation, and as well as the planting of trees in order to reduce the rate of the effects of climate change within our country. And also we want to what we also want to do is to also create a campaign group which will tackle the issues of sanitation, and at the same time the issues of the environment. We would want to use, we already have a youth coordinating council, but the youth coordinating council does not delve into environmental issues. They are more like on the religious and social side, but they are not into the environmental issues. So if we are able to collaborate with the Youth Coordinating Council, we'll be able to get more members who are interested in saving our environment, so that we'll be able to do this work together. Also, we want to, after we have been able to get the group and then tackled all those things, we will actually fall on our elders for support in terms of capacity building. so that we'll be able to build our capacity in the way of, one, forming the group, how to put the message across. Whilst implementing, we would like you to help us in how you implemented it in your countries and all those things. So in a nutshell, I would say this meeting is an eye-opener for West Africa province, and also we would fall on you very much for capacity building, for support in terms of capacity building. So once again, I would like to thank all of you and wish all of you a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Let's put our hands together to thank Michelle and for West Africa. And we're very excited to be in contact with you. And I think one thing I would like to say is encourage your youth movement to get involved in the environment. And
Sure.
if the movement starts with young people, it's going to fly. And I'm sure you can invite any of these speakers. Now we're getting good at doing things online. I'm sure any of these speakers would be willing to come and speak online with your youth council and maybe inspire them. Thank you. Move to Amuri Hamusine Nyembo from Congo.
Sema kama province yetu ya Congo na nchi mbili, moja ni Congo DRC na tunakuwa na diocese 13 na ya pili,
the province of Congo, where he belongs, has 2 dioceses, which is the nation of Democratic Republic of Congo. Na gani ingine Amuri? DRC na gani ingine?
Ni Congo Brazza tunakuwa na diocese moja.
And Congo Brazza with 1 diocese.
Sawa, asante. Sasa kwa DRC,
in DRC
tunakuwa nchi yenye kuwa na utalii mingi, tunakuwa na mali mingi kwa environment.
It's been a nation that has been benefiting from a lot of tourism and a lot of resources as well. But there have been problems.
Problem kubwa tumekuwa nao ni kukosa usalama.
One of the main issues they have been facing is the lack of security.
Na hii shida imetokea kuhusu mazingira tunakuwa nayo.
And the reason for this issue of insecurity is as a result of the resources and the environment that they enjoy.
Hii mazingira inaacha tunakuwa shida, watu wamekimbia, watu wameuawa, watu wamekuwa katika insecurity.
Because of the riches of their environment, there've been a lot of insecurity. People have been running away, and there are a lot of people running from the country.
Na inakuwa msingi wa uongozi mbaya ndani ya nchi.
And that is the foundation of bad governance in that country.
Na ni hapa kanisa yetu imekuwa na kazi. Kwanza vision ya kanisa yetu ni kusaidia watu ili wawe wa acteur wa maendeleo na mabadiliko ndani ya nchi.
And one of the priorities of the church in Congo is to make people, or to encourage people to be agents of change and agents of development.
Kuwaleta watu zaidi wa Kristo wawe wachungaji wa creation.
By bringing Christians together to be good shepherds.
Na tunakuwa na mission fulani tumefanya. Kanisa ya Kongo inafundisha watu maneno ya Mungu, juu ya kutegemea Mungu na kuleta mabadiliko kwa maisha ya watu.
One of their mission is to equip people within the country to know God and to use their faith to bring change in their country.
Kanisa inafundisha Wakristo namna gani wanaweza kutegemea mali Mungu aliwapatia na kubadilisha maisha yao.
Another way they build the capacity is through training and teaching Christians on ways they can use their resources to gain livelihoods.
Kwa sababu watu wanakuwa maskini sana na tunakuwa na resources nyingi, lakini haisaidii watu kubadilisha maisha yao.
Because the poverty levels are quite high and there are so many diseases, And if they do not do this, Christianity will not be effective for them.
Na shida kubwa imekuwa ndani ya environment, kwanza pression, watu wanatumikisha vibaya mazingira.
One of the major problems is that people are careless with the environment.
Zaidi hii makampuni kutoka nje ni wao wamevamia sana misitu, wamevamia mali zote, na hii imeleta shida kwa watu.
Most of the foreign companies that have invested in those lands, they've degraded the land and the environment too much.
Na huku Kongo zaidi ya 80% ya watu wameishi kwa ajili ya udongo, wanategemea kilimo na mining.
And one of the main resources that the people depend on is the soil that is rich for plants and in minerals.
Sasa hawa watu hawana nafasi ya kufanya kazi kwa sababu hii makampuni wamekamata nafasi kubwa na wanafukuza watu kwa kufanya maisha zao.
Now people cannot cultivate their lands, they cannot till their lands because these companies have taken advantage and grabbed the land and used it in the wrong ways.
Na hii ndio imekuwa shida ya watu kuharibisha mazingira, imebakia nafasi fulani kwa sababu wametafuta namna gani wataishi.
And this is the problem the locals are facing.
Na sasa kanisa tumekuwa tumefanya kazi mbalimbali ya kuweza kusaidia watu kwa kupiganisha hii shida ya kuharibisha mazingira.
The church is doing the best to build capacity on teaching people how to take care and guard what is theirs in the environment.
Kwanza tunahimiza Wakristo kwa kuweza kuchunga mazingira na kuepuka changement climatique.
They encourage the Christians to continue conserving and taking care of the environment.
Tunawafunza vile vile kuepuka kuharibisha misitu kwa moto na mambo kadhalika, na wanaendelea tunawafunza kwa kupanda miti kwa kuchunga mazingira.
They're building capacity on the disadvantages of deforestation and emphasizing on the advantage of forestation.
Kanisa tumefanya tena kazi kubwa ya kuhimiza zaidi vijana wawe na mila mpya juu ya kuchunga uumbaji na kuchunga mazingira yenye tunakuwa nayo kwa ajili ya maendeleo.
They're also calling upon the young men and young women of the nation to take up their responsibility to conserve the environment.
Tunasaidia vile vile wajane, wamama wenye hawana jinsi ya kupata nafasi ya kufanya kazi ya kilimo na kuwafunza juu ya kilimo, sijui inaitwa nini, agriculture durable.
They're training the women in the society, most of the vulnerable who have no other source of livelihood, to continue tilling their land and how to do it in a careful manner that will not harm the environment.
Na tunashirikiana vile vile na serikali ya Kongo kwa kuwaleta viongozi waendelee kutimiliza kushika mipango mbalimbali inakamatwa duniani popote kuhusu mazingira na utalii.
They have also partnered with government agencies to emphasize and to continue using their influence towards the people on the importance of nature conservation.
Na tunaendelea vile kutumika na kanisa ya Katoliki, tunashirikiana na Wakatoliki kwa kusaidia serikali kuwa wazi kwa ngambo ya mazingira, kwa kuepuka rushwa, kwa sababu rushwa inaangamiza sana mazingira ya Kongo. Yote imefanyika, rushwa inaacha kama mambo isiendelee, na tunatumika na kanisa ya Katolika pamoja ili kufanya pressure kwa viongozi wa nchi ili wawe transparent, wawe kuonesha namna gani mambo inafanyika ndani ya mazingira.
The church in DRC has also partnered with the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church in the nation, to speak against corruption and to speak for integrity, because corruption is one of the major causes that has brought forth the degradation and ruin of the environment in DRC.
Na vilevile tumefanya ndani ya masomo zetu zote, tumetia programu mpya ya kufundisha watoto kuanzia shule ya msingi mpaka kwa university kwa mambo inayohusika na mazingira, kuchunga mazingira, kujere mazingira, kufanya assainissement. Hii ni program tunatia kwa masomo yetu yote na inaendelea vizuri, na wengine wamepata hivi tumeanza.
They have made nature conservation part of their curriculum in the schools from the primary level to the secondary education. Ni sawa Muri ama bado?
Ni sawa, kifupi ni hiyo tumefanya kwa Kongo.
Okay, in conclusion, that is what the church in DRC has been doing, and he thanks you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, asante sana, Amuri. We really appreciate what you're doing in Congo. And I think one thing that struck me was where you say that it is corruption that is leading to the destruction of the environment. And I think we find that in all our countries, and we must be fighting corruption. So thank you. We're going to move on to try the video again now from Uganda with our brother Abraham.
Abraham Byamukama, a representative of Uganda in the CAPA. First and foremost, I do send greetings from the Anglican Church of Uganda, the Archbishop of Uganda, the Chigezi, the Assistant Bishop, Right Reverend Engineer George Bagamuhonda, the Ankole South, the Assistant Bishop, Right Reverend Nathan Ahimsibwe, who is also my colleague, because we are accepted to present Uganda in the CAPA. So whatever is taking place here, he's aware. The question that how has the Anglican Church of Uganda tried to conserve the environment? It has tried to conserve the environment in many ways. Firstly, it has tried to educate the community members and the youth on how to do tree planting around the water bodies, especially around Lake Runyonyi. It has encouraged the people living around to plant bamboo tree, or you may say bamboo forest, because Kigezi being in a hilly or a mountainous area, we all receive heavy rains, and as a result, there is what we call soil erosion. So you find it erodes the soil and deposits into the sea or into the lake. So once we plant the trees, you find it will control the speed of running water. So on that side, we shall have preserved the water bodies. Again, it has went ahead, especially to schools that are church founded. As you can see here in the background, I am in the school. These are trees. Here, there is a younger plant. It's an orange tree, if you can see it very well. So it is a campaign in the schools, church-founded schools, even in private. You find it is trying to distribute the seedlings of both tree and tree fruits. So you find in every school at least there are trees. Thirdly, it has also tried to construct boreholes, at least in every community, where they're having some swamps, where they're having some water sources, to show that maybe the water bodies that are around the community, they are useful. They can provide clean water for both domestic and human use. So in that process, you find people they develop that heart that maybe swamps. Let us protect the swamps because they are source of clean water for both human use and the domestic use. Again, it has also tried to connect with plastic producing companies like Coca-Cola in recycling the bottles. So I find that the youth are engaged in collecting bottles, and at the end of the day, I find it is a source of employment. They can earn a living. So in that process, you find that the Church of Uganda has tried so hard so that maybe they can collect those bottles and again they are taken for recycling. Another thing, it has went ahead to educate the youth on how to do nursery bed. Nursery beds. What you find they are doing nursery beds for eucalyptus, nursery bed for oranges, avocados, mangoes, etc. So you find in that process there is also employment opportunities for the youth because they are engaged. So they make them busy. They don't find them moving up and down. So the Anglican Church of Uganda is also having some plans on how they can uplift the youth because the youth, we are the leaders of tomorrow. For sure, I thank you for listening to me. May God richly bless you.
Thank you so much. That was really inspiring. And I think when we see that the young people are leading, we know that it's going to succeed. And I don't think we should say the young people are the leaders of tomorrow. We must say the young people are the leaders of now. Let us be led by the young people. The older generation are the ones who have destroyed this earth. Let it be the young generation be the ones who rise up to say, let us heal this earth. We do want to apologize. We've run on very late, but I think it's because we've had such wonderful presentations and they've been very inspiring. We're going to have our last person now. So Basumo we're just going to give Basumo 2 minutes. He hasn't got a presentation, but he just wants to say a couple of things. And then we'll hand over to Basi for our vote of thanks and Canon John for our closing prayer. And apologies again for going over time. Over to you, my brother Basumo Abiuda.
Thank you for the nice pronunciation of my name. So I'm so glad and so happy to be part of this meeting. As you have said, I will not have a presentation, but I'm here just to cast my vote of appreciation for what I've learned. I've taken my notes from the beginning. I've been busy taking notes of what my colleagues have been doing. Actually, South Sudan province is just as young as other colleagues who are saying their province is young in the area of environmental programs and all that. This is something new that I've learned and I've known how important it is through this conversation we have had here. And I've learned all the strategies my colleagues are using. And I've also picked up as a task on me to make sure that I form at least a committee or a department in my office that will be dealing with the environment. Just starting from this very month which is coming, we are going to sit down with some few of my people and we see how and where we can start from. Secondly, South Sudan is a bit complicated when it comes to the rainfalls. We are going to have a little bit of challenge in planting trees. That will need us to do a lot of work of watering these trees in other times when there will be no rains. And also South Sudan is a little bit back in, let me say, in waste management. We are not very good at managing our waste, and this is a task that I've taken on me. And as a province, we are going to sit with my leaders and see how as a church, what can we do? So we have learned and we really appreciate. And I believe I still remember this kind of meetings. I'm the one who requested that for us who are still fresh in this sector, how can we learn from our colleagues? And I appreciate the management and the team behind all these arrangements. So I have to say I have learned.
We are all here for you. We will support South Sudan in any way we can to get the movement growing. So we're going to now ask Basetsana to do our vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rachel. On behalf of the Anglican Environmental Network of Africa, I would just like to thank everyone who took their time this afternoon to join us. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard at getting us all together. A big thank you to all the speakers from the various provinces in Africa for all the information and valuable lessons presented to us today. There's so much amazing work being done on this continent, and I hope that we will all just continue engaging even beyond this platform and learn from each other. We hope that this will be the first of many, and that from here, this network will grow from strength to strength, and that more of our peers, especially the youth, will come on board, and that this network will just fulfill its purpose of safeguarding the integrity of creation and sustain and renew life on earth. May God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Basi. And I also would just like to give a big round of thanks to our Nairobi team, particularly to Irene, who has done a huge amount of work, and to Nicholas and to Isabel for all the technical support and really making it happen. There's been a lot of work gone behind the screens. Thank you so much. So we'll hand over to Reverend Canon John Kafwanka to lead us in our closing prayer.
Just to reiterate the words that have been already said and say thank you very much for this. I think it's not just an important platform, but I think it's a very necessary platform for us and the continent of Africa, but beyond that, the whole communion. I think the presentations have been uplifting and encouraging. They have been challenging in the sense in which we have been challenged in so many ways, but also they have been inspiring, and therefore we've been inspired to move forward. And I think that for me has been a kind of, in a very short way of responding, is picking up those sort of key words of how what this presentation has meant to me. And so we will pray together now. This we know, the earth does not belong to us.
The earth is the Lord's, and
so
are all its people.
This we know, we did not weave the web of life.
The earth is the Lord's, and so is all that breathes on it.
This we know, we are called to till and to work the earth.
The earth is the Lord's, and so are all who work on the land.
This we know, that we are called to take care of creation.
The earth is the Lord's, yet we have polluted and abused it.
Land, yet we have polluted and abused it.
This we know, that whatever befalls the earth,
and the earth is the Lord's.
And it's all we.
This we know, that the earth is the Lord's.
And so
serve him in it.
go out into the world rejoicing and encounter the Creator who waits to meet you there. Savor its richness and diversity and live as those who praise God for its bounty. And the blessing of the Creator God, the Eternal Father, the risen Son, and the promised Holy Spirit bless you, so that you might be a blessing for others today and always.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Amen. Until we meet again. Until we meet again.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone.
Amen.
For this call.
Let's share our videos and wave goodbye. Let's wave goodbye on our videos.
Bye. Goodbye, Canon.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. That was inspiring.
It was.
Thank you. Bye-bye.